Good morning. The Abu Draham rules that when Asara B'Teves falls on Friday, then we do still go ahead and fast, as opposed to the other fasts where we would not fast on Erev Shabbos or Shabbos. But Asara B'Teves we do, hence we are today. However, there is a conflicting halacha that we aren't supposed to go into Shabbos hungry and in discomfort. And that is expressed in the Gemara in Eruvin Daf Mem Aleph. There's a machlokas between Rabbi Akiva and Rabbi Yossi that whether or not we should be mis'ana u'masha, whether or not we should complete the fast, or whether we could end it early or at least take a taste before. And though Tosfos explains that Rabbi Akiva was only allowing it under circumstances of it being ill, that is not the simple understanding of the Gemara, but nonetheless, the Gemara concludes that we hold like Rabbi Yossi, that mis'ana u'mashlim, that we do in fact complete our fast to the typical time. While there are those that suggest that as soon as one accepts Shabbos, even if one accepts early Shabbos after the time of Plaga Mincha, and one davens Kabbalah Shabbos and Mariv and goes home, that they could make Kiddush even if it's before Tzeis HaKol Chavim, it is clear that that is not the halacha, especially by a Tainus Tzibur, by a public fast day. The Shulchan Aruch does rule that a Yachid, an individual who accepts a fast upon themselves on an Erev Shabbos, that they are required, for example, let's say a Tanis Chalom, a fast after a bad dream, that you are required to wait until Tzeis, and for sure a Tzibur, a public fast day one is as well. The Ramador actually argues and says, no, that a Yachid, an individual, perhaps if he accepts Shabbos early, can actually break the fast before Tzeis, but that is strictly speaking for an individual. When it comes to a Tainus Tzibur, a public fast day, the Ramah agrees that one must complete the fast until Tzeis HaKol Chavim. The Mishnah Berurah explains the difference is because of the institution of the fast. When a Yachid, an individual, accepts a fast upon themselves, it is our choice. And therefore, there is no objective, appropriate obligation. But when it comes to a Tainus Tzibur, a public fast day, which was instituted by Chazal for each and every one of us, that we cannot take the liberty to end early, and that must complete all the way until Tzeis HaKol Chavim, which of course is the prevalent minhag. Keeping in mind that when we get home from shul, making sure that number one, it is past Tzeis, and that number two, we obviously, the first thing we break our fast on is making Kiddush and having Challah and then having the rest of our meal. So are there those that would say under some circumstances of fasting on Friday and accepting Shabbos early, that one can break the fast early? There are. However, even those agree that when it comes to Asar B'Tevis or a Tainus Tzibur like today, we certainly have to wait until Tzeis HaKol Chavim, whatever time that we normally hold of Tzeis HaKol Chavim, but we have to wait until Tzeis HaKol Chavim, make Kiddush, make Hamotzi, and then continue our meal accordingly. Have an easy and meaningful fast.